Forget your junk food. We're talking about foundational, life-sustaining foods that are going to become the bedrock of your pantry and foods that are going to last for years to come. Now imagine facing any chaos that may be presented to you and you're not prepared. Imagine that pit in the stomach feeling when you realise that the window to provide for your family is just slammed shut. It's not some far off movie plot. The supply chain is fragile. We are 3 meals away from collapse and this is a real threat. Think of this as your final heads up to get what will soon be worth more than its weight in gold. This is the UK, people. We're not living in America. Every other house doesn't have a freeze dryer. People don't can food over here. We rely on what we can buy in the grocery store. Having the right food on hand is going to be the way you're going to get through true desperation. And in this video I'm going to talk to you about your ultimate checklist, the top 15 foods that you absolutely need to stock up on before you can't. So the first food that we're going to talk about is rice. This is the absolute king of survival staples. Don't make the mistake of stocking up on brown rice. Whilst it might taste rice and it has a better nutritional value for you, it also has a higher oil content, so it is not going to sit on your shelf and stay stable for as long as you might need it to. Now, stored properly, white rice is a fantastic source of energy that your body craves and needs. It's versatile, simple to cook and cheap to buy in bulk. Now, £50 bag is one of the smartest things that you can buy, and as you can see from my little trip around Asda, that wasn't an option there, but you have got a lot of specialty shops where you can go and buy the great big massive bags of rice. And I'm talking like the big ass things like this that are quite heavy as well, so people chuck on the shoulders and walk off with. And it is in fact the perfect partner for beans and makes any meal go further, making sure your family stays fuller for longer. Okay, in at number 2 is our protein powerhouse, canned meats and fish. In a crisis, protein is precious. Fresh meat will be a distant memory in about 48 hours. That's why canned meats and fish are number 2 on our list. Tuna, chicken, salmon, even spam. These cooked right in the can, so they're safe to eat without heating. Not bacon grill. Bacon grill's not cooked in the can, even though it looks like spam. Bacon grill still has to be cooked, so don't get caught out there. Now, these canned meats and fish are a huge deal if the power goes out. They're going to give you essential protein and the fats that you need to maintain your muscle, and energy. While the best by date might say 2 to 5 years, a properly sealed, undented is important, can is generally safe long after that, though it's always best to rotate your stock every few years to ensure the best quality. This is the ultimate grab and grow protein, and it is worth its weight in gold. Now, number 3 is the unsung hero, dried beans and legumes, and I didn't see any of these walking around Asda at all. So again, you don't have to go to a specialty shop. The only beans and legumes that I saw personally were in the little cans, and whilst they do last great, dried ones last a hell of a lot longer. Now, when you pair them with rice, you create your complete proteins, giving your body all the essential amino acids it needs to keep going. They're cheap, packed with fibre and nutrients, and can last for decades when you store them right. Now, think about pinto beans, black beans, lentils, butter beans, chickpeas. They are the workhorses of a prepper's pantry. It's no surprise that in the past, shortages of beans were one of the first things to completely vanish from the shelves. They're not just food, they're fuel. Now, next up is the forever food, honey. It's something that is called liquid gold in many places. Pure honey, not the stuff mixed with corn syrup and all that crap, has a nearly indefinite shelf life. Archaeologists have found pots of honey in ancient Egypt tombs that are up to 3,000 years old, and they have still been edible. It's a natural sweetener, a great source of energy and a serious morale booster, but it is more than that. Honey has got natural antibacterial properties, so you can use it to treat minor cuts and soothe the sore throat, making it a powerful dual-purpose item to keep in your stockpile. Following on from honey, we have got number 5, the go-to breakfast, and this is rolled oats. Not the flake, ground down little things, proper, big, rolled, uncut oats. When you need a warm filling meal that you can make in minutes, you'll be glad that you stockpiled on your oats. Now, the big canisters of plain rolled oats are full of slow releasing energy and fibre. They cook fast and they're easy on your stomach. They can also last for decades if stored in a sealed oxygen-free container, and you can expect a solid 1 to 2 years in a typical pantry storage. They're the perfect base for a hearty breakfast. You can use them in baking to add nutrition to breads or survival bars, and you can even add a little bit of that honey from number 4 just to make them taste that little bit sweeter and be a little bit more appetising. Now, item number 6 on the list is a fantastic comfort food, and that is pasta. It gives you more than just calories. It makes you feel warm and fuzzy, and it gives you a psychological lift, which when everything's going to shit and you're feeling like crap, can be very, very beneficial. Now, familiar foods make all the difference in stressful situations, and everybody likes pasta. Dry pasta is cheap, it stores very easily and has a shelf life that can be measured in years, not months, as long as you keep it totally dry and stored in a good, cool, dark place. Now, it's a great source of carbs that you can pair with canned sauce, or even just some oil and salt for a quick, satisfying meal. But if this is a long-term disaster and you've got a garden, most people grow tomatoes, leeks, cucumbers. You can make yourself a nice sauce just to go with your pasta. Don't be the one staring at an empty shelf. Number 7 is essential fat, so oils and ghee. A lot of people just focus on their carbs and their protein, but make the critical mistake of forgetting fat. Fat was the biggest element in a carnivore diet back in the days of the caveman. Now, stable fats and oils in a survival situation, calories are everything, and fat delivers more than double the calories of carbs or protein. The body needs fat. It's essential for hormone production and absorbing vitamins. Olive oil and coconut oil are good, but ghee, or clarified butter, is a real winner with a very long shelf life. Again, couldn't see any of this in my little walk around in Asda, as you've probably seen on the shelves when I was going across the butters and things, and the oils, but it is out there. It has a very long shelf life. Most of the cooking oils go rancid in a year or two, so you do need to be mindful of that. And you need these fats for cooking and, importantly, making your stored food taste a whole lot better. Well then guys, we're halfway through our list, and if you're getting some nice value enjoying this video, do me a favour, hit that subscription button, give that bell a ding, you'll know when I put a new video. All I want to do is bring you practical, no fluff, no messed up videos to keep you and your family safe. And drop me a comment down below. Let me know what your top survival food is. What are you going to be stocking most of? And what's your comfort food item as well? What are you going to be throwing in there just to make you happy? So we'll carry on then with number 8, the dairy solution, powdered milk. You find this in rations from all over the world just because it's such a powerhouse. Fresh milk is going to be gone from stores instantly unless you've got a cow or a goat in your garden, which I doubt most of you have. You're going to be needing powdered milk. It doesn't need a fridge. It doesn't taste exactly like a fresh glass of milk, I'm not going to lie to you there, but it is a lifesaver for baking, adding to your oatmeal or coffee, and for getting crucial nutrients for the kids. Number 9 on the list, and by no means is this number 9 because we don't think it's very valuable. It is the most valuable mineral, and that is salt. It's probably the most valuable mineral in the entirety of human history. It was once so valuable that it was used as currency, and this is where we get the world's salary. In a real crisis, it's almost as precious as gold, and your body physically needs salt to function, but its main survival is for food preservation. You need salt to cure meat, preserve vegetables and stop things from spoiling. It lasts forever, takes up almost no room, and is an absolute must-have for your stockpile. Number 10, and that's canned fruits and vegetables that have once been said to be the vitamin lifeline. While all your bulk staples are providing calories, your body still needs micronutrients to stay healthy. Now, this is where canned fruits and vegetables come in. Only buy the ones that you like and gonna eat. There's no point in stocking up on them just because they're in a can. If you don't like them, you're not going to eat them. It's an absolute waste of space and money. Now, canned fruits and vegetables are how you prevent getting sick from deficiencies. Just as important, they give you variety in your diet. Breaking up the monotony of rice and beans with the sweetness of canned peaches or the familiar taste of green beans can be a massive morale booster, especially if you have kids. And that juice can be watered down and given to the kids as a drink instead of just plain old water, because they're going to get bored of that very fast. Don't forget though guys, it might be a vitamin lifeline, but you might still need to be stocking up on your multivitamins as well. Don't forget those. Coming in at number 11 is a massive morale booster even if you don't drink it, and that's coffee and tea. Never underestimate the power of coffee and tea. For millions of us, that morning cup is a luxury and routine. Instant coffee and tea bags are light, they have a long shelf life, and they are absolutely amazing for barter. I don't drink tea personally, but I've got tea bags because I might need to swap them for something a little bit more essential for me. I know, I'm British, I'm in the UK, I don't like tea, I don't drink tea, but everybody else does, so I can barter with them. People will trade you almost anything for a little bit of comfort and energy. Get stocked up. Now, number 12 is your baking essentials, which you could effectively say is your bread of life. Store-bought bread is going to be gone on day one. It's full of preservatives and crap, and it's going to be going mouldy fast, so it does not last. But if you've got baking essentials, you can make your own. I'm talking about flour, yeast, baking soda, baking powder, but you don't even need yeast. You can make flatbread without it. Now, being able to bake bread gives you more than just food. It gives you a sense of normality and self-reliance that you can't put a price on. A warm, fresh loaf of bread can turn a simple meal into a feast that lifts everyone's spirits. Learning to bake a simple loaf or even a flatbread is a massive survival skill. And not just for you. Again, fresh bread, you can barter it. It can be cooked over an open fire. You don't need a working oven in the house. Bread is something a lot of people are going to want. If you've got the goods to cook it and you know how to make it, you can barter for pretty much anything with a nice fresh loaf of bread. Now, number 13 is peanut butter. This is the biggest no-cook protein out there. This is a proper prepper favourite for a good reason. Peanut butter is absolutely packed with calories. It's taken to third world countries when the famines were all the big thing in the news, and peanut butter was just being given out in jars because of the amount of calories and how dense it is. It is full of healthy fats and it doesn't need to be cooked. A single spoonful gives you a very quick energy boost when you're feeling drained. One of the newest things for athletes right now and people that need to have a big boost of energy and protein and power, it's not energy gels anymore. People are sucking down tubes of peanut butter and it's fantastic. Kids are gonna love it. It's an amazing comfort food and an unopened jar is good for up to 2 years, though you do need to store it in a cool, dark place to prevent the oils from going rancid. It's simple, it's effective, and it belongs in everyone's pantries. So how much peanut butter have you got? Number 14, water purification. Such a big deal. You can have all the food in the world, but it's useless if you don't have clean water. All those dried beans, legumes, pasta, well, you can't cook it in drain water. Now, you can survive weeks without food, but only a few days without water. Bottled water is one of the first things to disappear from the shelves, along with pasta and rice. You should have at least 1 gallon per person per day stored away, but storing all that water is tough. What's even more important is having ways to purify your water. That means having multiple methods, a good water filter, purification tablets, and knowing how to boil water safely. This is without a doubt the single most important thing on this list. I don't know about you guys, but I know I did, so I'm pretty certain most of you out there will have been taught basic water filtration methods in science in school. If you don't remember them, look it up on YouTube. There's lots of videos out there. You might just need it one day. I hope you don't, but you might. Finally, at number 15, these are the things that are going to keep you sane. Spices and simple comfort foods. Just think about eating plain rice and beans every single day. Spices like pepper, garlic powder, bouillon cubes and chili powder take up almost no space, but they can turn a bland meal into something you actually want to eat. And in that same vein, having a small stash of hard candy, chocolate or cocoa powder can provide a much needed psychological break during dark times. These things are crucial for your long-term mental health and will be great for trade. I've used spices well past the best before date before without even realising it, and so have a lot of you. So there you have it, guys. Those are the 15 foundational items to get before the shelves are empty. Building this stockpile, it's not about being paranoid, it's about being responsible, it's about being prepared and making sure that your household is resilient enough to handle whatever comes your way. Last week, up the road, literally less than 3 miles away, my uncle and my aunt live on the same street. Their street and a few streets all around them were having constant power cuts. They've got no electricity. They've both got electric cookers in the house. So I took some of my camping stoves up to their houses just so they could boil some water, have a nice hot drink and do some simple nice meals for tea. Why? Because I was prepared. I had the things that they needed, so I took them up and they were absolutely fine. Power was in and out for like 2 days. Are they now getting gas cookers from the camping shop in case it happens again? The little 1-ring burners? Yes, they are. But it is simple things like that that really help in an emergency situation. So it might not even be the end of the world that you're planning for, guys. You're just planning for something out of the ordinary. You don't even need to throw it all in your trolley in one go. Just pick up 1 or 2 extra things from the supermarket every time you go. Don't wait for the bad news to be on TV, because by then, unless you're standing in the grocery store or the supermarket, it's probably already too late. The time to start to prepare is now. If I can get 2 pensioners in their late 70s to go and buy little gas stoves in case that happens again and start preparing little things that way, then I think you guys can start looking out for your families too. Thanks for sticking with me then, guys. Now, if you really want to be sure about being prepared, make sure you subscribe for my videos. There will be more of these scattered about on my channel. I did have another video that was put out a few weeks ago. That's an absolutely fantastic wash about survival. I'll pop that one in as well. It's about what happens when the supply chain breaks and disaster strike. Be smart, guys. Be ready. And I'll see you soon with more eats, treats and MREs.